Good morning, students. In the last session, we have seen the electron beam gun. What are the factors of uh, or what are the functions of electron beam gun? Why vacuum chamber is needed? Just I'll quickly review that, and we'll see today advantages, disadvantages of EBM, process capabilities of electron beam machining, and also applications of electron beam machining in this today's session. Uh, as we already discussed or seen in the last session, vacuum chamber. Why we need vacuum? Because electron beam, which is generated by the sufficient application of voltage onto the filament by energizing cathode, has to sustain its energy which it gained and cutting ability that needs to be remove the material from the workpiece throughout the travel of its travel of its life, right? Nothing life is nothing but from energized from cathode to the reaching to material removal. So it needs to be the be with the same energy and cutting ability. If air molecules, if it is performed in a normal atmosphere, then there will be a collision or disturbance which uh, initiated due to the interaction between the air molecules and the electrons which are generated. So this creates energy drop and cutting ability drop. So that's why we need to create a vacuum atmosphere for electron beam machining. This is the reason why we create a vacuum chamber for machining electron beam operation. Coming to electron beam gun, it is the main part of this electron beam machining. It is the source where the electrons are energized at cathode by sufficient application of voltage, and the power supply will be around 150 kilovolts. Coming to the process parameters, generally the process parameters which are based on the which are nothing but inputs going to that which are going to affect if they are varied to certain limits, they are going to affect the machining characters of the uh, process, right? So what are they? Accelerating voltage. Electrons get accelerated at high voltage. So whatever the voltage we are applying, it is going to decide the intensity or speed of this electrons travel. Okay, speed of this electron beam travel. Next, the beam current related to the number of electrons emitted by the cathode or available in the beam. Beam current can be as low as 200 mu amperes to 1 ampere. So we can see beam current, electron beam current is nothing but travel of electron in beam. What is happening? A cluster of electrons are being traveled, so there some electricity is passing, we can say. But to confine to our operation, we are saying it as a electron beam, but it is a nothing but travel of electricity, nothing but current, right? So that highest possible current of that beam is not should not exceed 1 ampere and should not below than 200 mu amperes. The pulse duration should be between in the range of 50 microseconds to as long as 15 milliseconds. So these are the pulse duration. Nothing but one see pulse is nothing but just like switch on off, like that. It should happen within this range. Next, energy per pulse. Next, power per pulse. Lens current. See, we are having lens for deflecting and focusing, right? So the current or voltage applied at that lens and that sustainability of that lens to the travel of electrons, that also may affect the machining characteristics. The spot size. See, మనం ఎంత స్పాట్ సైజ్ మెషిన్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నామో ఆ స్పాట్ సైజ్ బేస్ చేసుకుని అవర్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ beam size, if it is a circular shape, it should have 10 mm 10 nanometer or 10 micrometer dia, because our spot size is 10 micrometer. That relation or what we call that, um, that communication or information should be there. So spot size is controlled by degree of focusing achieved by the electromagnetic lenses. This spot size by we, how can we focus onto the spot size? We are with the help of focusing lenses, that you know. For a lower spot size, the material removal would be faster through the size of the hole, which would smaller. Power density. The energy density and power density is governed by energy per pulse duration and spot size. So this is regarding power density. Now we'll see electron beam process capability. Capability is nothing but how far it can machine, on what diameters it can machine, on what thickness or what depths it can machine, on what materials it can machine, how far it can machine, what will be the heat affected zones. Such things we will call generally capability. See, first point we can see EBM can provide holes of diameter in the range of 100 micrometer to 2 mm. So maximum diameter it can make is 2 mm. So it is used by this, we can say it was used for precision and accurate work for aerospace industries, such kind of applications only. 100 micrometer to 2 mm, maximum of 2 mm, and with a depth up to 15 mm only. So beyond that, the electron travel and intensity will be dropped. So that's why these are the maximum possible range of dimensions that an electron beam process can efficiently, easily can machine with an L by D ratio, length to display, diameter ratio of around 10. Materials, what materials? But first of all, it should be a conducting material. That situation is there. Does it should be only a conducting material? No. See, materials such as steel, stainless steel, titanium, and nickel superalloys, aluminum, as well as it can also machine plastics, ceramics, leathers, can be machined successfully by EBM, because we are not applying power supply to workpiece. We just need an electron in a particular, see, in steel material also will be having electrons, plastics also will be having atoms and electrons, ions will be there. So these electrons are going to hit that material, and the material is going to get melted to get heated up to higher temperatures, gets melts and vaporizes. So here there will be no question of conducting material. So any kind of material can be machined by EBM. That is the major advantage of this electron beam process. Others, in the previous two topics, we have seen only conductive materials are mostly machined. So this is going to overcome that advantage. Heat affected zone. This already we know. Heat affected zone is nothing but the zone where we are machining, and further how far it is going to affect the situation. The heat affected zone is rather narrow due to shorter pulse duration in EBM. Typically, the heat affected zone is around 20 to 30 micrometers. So the heat affected zones only will be very small, because we are going to machine only up to a range of 2 mm and L by D ratio only 10 mm. So comparatively, the heat affected zones also will be, and further it is going to hit and initiate there itself only. So whenever that electron is going to hit on a particular spot size, there only the material is going to remove. Other part of the base metal is not going to disturb as much as the in other operations, but the heat affected zone will be there in up to just 30 micrometers, which is very less. Next, materials like aluminum and titanium can be machined compared to steel. So high difficult to cut materials can be easily machined in this process. EBM does not apply any cutting force. So are we applying any force in this operation? No, we are just uh, hitting the workpiece with certain electron intensity. We can say a kind of ions exchange or friction only happening between them. There will be this, because see, to apply some force we need some tool. Here the tool is not there. We are going to uh, apply some electron beam onto the workpiece where we require to remove the material. There is no tool, so there is no question of force. Thus very simple work holding is required. So we need not to uh, worry about the fixing of this material. Just a simple thing, to it should be on the work location where, so that it can beam can identify the spot where it can remove the material. Holes can also be drilled at a very shallow angles as less as 20 to 30 degrees angle. Coming to the advantages, see, extremely close tolerances can be maintained. See, we are going to apply at the location where we require, so there is no chance of deviation of dimension or location to machine. So we'll exactly attain our dimensions of the workpiece. Heat affected zones are minimum, so that we have seen only maximum of 30 micrometer is going to affect it around the spot size. It can machine almost any material irrespective of mechanical properties. Irrespective of mechanical properties. Mechanical properties means hardness, tensile strength, okay, brittleness. So see, electron beam machining, we can machine any kind of material. So uh, we need not bother about its hardness or any other parameters. We can use it readily. The beam can be concentrated on a very small area. Smallest possible area we can machine. It produces better surface finish. There will be no finishing operations required by this, because it is going to make remove the material by vaporization, and there is no heat affected zone also. So there is no force also involved. So the material finishing will be high. Thermal distortion is very least. The process is fast because it is entirely non-mechanical. Non-mechanical is nothing but we are not going to apply any forces. Any forces are not involved, then we can say it is not mechanical. So this is purely just because of electrons travel. So these are advantages. Coming to limitations, what will be the limitations? Equipment cost. See, in all these non-conventional processes, this will be the biggest and the common limitation. Interaction of the electron beam with workpiece surface produces hazardous X-rays, and shielding is necessary. That's why we prepared a vacuum chamber. Okay, and vacuum is essentially required for avoiding that such hazardous situations. Because of very low material removal rate, the process is economically only for small volume of cuts. Okay, because based on the cuts we need to see, we are removing only 2 mm of material, and there if we observe or think of material removal rate, high material removal rate, such things can't be considered here, because only small volume cuts are possible by EBM. Skilled labor is required to accelerate the electrons. So application of voltage that needs a uh, training. Very high voltage is required to accelerate the electrons. Such high power sources are to be included in the setup, so that it adds to the cost further. The process can machine only thinner parts, because we machine only surfaces by almost, we can say, below 2 mm is nothing but surface finishing only, surface correction only, we can say. So it can handle only thin parts. If thicker parts also, that all we can machine, but only surface of about 2 mm can be machined or handled by EBM. Coming to the applications, EBM is particularly suitable for producing very small diameters holes down to 0.02 inches, nothing but 2 mm. Okay, that's the main purpose, to drill a hole where a critical situation, critical scenario is there. Other applications are not available for readily making in that on that particular material. Then we'll go for EBM. It is especially adapted for micro matching. Micro matching, nothing but see rivet holes రెడీ చేయాలనుకోండి, రివెట్స్ పెట్టడానికి riveting తెలుసు కదా, థిన్ షీట్స్ పెట్టి we'll be having a small hole on it and we'll place that rivet and we'll press it. మన నాబ్స్ లాగా వస్తాయి, పైన కింద నాబ్స్ లాగా వస్తాయి, ఆ హోల్స్ మ్యాచ్ చేయాలి. అదర్వైజ్ దిస్ rivet will not engage in between them. Such kind of applications దగ్గర హోల్స్ క్రియేట్ చేయడానికి EBM can be a powerful source of machining. Major applications of EBM include matching in thin materials, cutting of slots, drilling of holes with very high depth to diameter ratios, usually more than 100:1. So these are some applications. Machining of wire drawing dies having small cross sectional area. EBM is also used as an alternative to light optics manufacturing methods in semiconductor industries. So these are some applications where EBM is highly used and effectively used. So in this today's session, we have discussed the advantages, limitations, applications, and an overview. We can say electron beam is a non-mechanical machining operation in which no forces are involved, only the travel or impinging of electrons, ions onto some ions that are electrons here are onto the workpiece material, where these ions are going to collide each other and heat is generated immediately. That workpiece which is a lower melting point is going to get heated up, melts and vaporizes, so that there the spot is formed which is required for or required as a machining operation, is the final product of electron beam machining. So this is the overall picture of electron beam machining. For today's session, we'll close this. In the next session, we'll see further details of electron beam